All right, we're down to the last three cards in the mindful section. So we're gonna go ahead and knock those out, and then we'll move on. We shall move on. I don't know which section we'll do next, because we got vulnerability and we got intimacy. So I'm not sure. We'll see. We shall see. But let's knock these last three cards out, and this will round out the mindful. All right. I didn't shuffle it as three cards, so. All right. What has been the biggest obstacle during your journey? The biggest obstacle during my journey? I would probably say money. And I would say that because you literally need money for just about everything. Like, if you don't have money, you can barely do anything. I mean, you can go to the park at most, but I mean, like, without money, you can't eat unless you're like going through other people's garbage, you know. But for me personally, money has been an obstacle because I needed to get my passport. I gotta buy plane tickets. I had to do a lot of things. And that's definitely been an obstacle during my journey for sure. Because, I mean, that's literally the only thing that's really been holding me back. I mean, now that I have some money, I was able to purchase this camera and get a better computer so I can do better editing and use better editing software, you know? And yeah, that's definitely been a big obstacle, because I'm like really trying to think off the top of my head right now what would be a big obstacle. But I'm like, when you really think about it, nothing is really holding you back except you and money, depending on what you're doing in life, honestly. But I mean, it's a case by case basis, honestly, because you know, there's some things that you can do without money. You know, go to you can go to a soup kitchen and help out and things like that. But just for my personal thing, I would say the biggest obstacle was money for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't really think of nothing much for that besides money on that one. Tell a story of a stranger you met that you'll never forget. I think I should have saved that one. I should have saved that one about the NATO one in the last video. Okay. I'll tell you guys a story. This one's not going to be a good one, though, or a happy one. This one's actually pretty bad. And I might have to say things a certain way so I don't get in trouble on YouTube. But back a while ago, I had a 2018 Mustang and I had a 2012 Honda Civic. I had brought my Honda Civic down to Long Beach. and I took it to a body shop because I had bought some body panels for it that I wanted to get spray painted and installed on the car. So I had left my car down there, and I had gotten a call from the shop. So I drove my Mustang down from San Diego down to Long Beach, and I went to go pick up my brother-in-law Joe, right? So we're in the car, and when we come through to the shop is in the alleyway, so you have to drive through the alley and then like park off to the sides or whatever. So I don't notice this lady, but I open up my car door and I get out, and Joe gets out on the passenger side. This lady comes by with a shopping cart. She stops right in front, and she looks at me and she goes, "You think you're so cool with that car, huh?" And I was just looking, I was like confused, like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, "You think you're so cool with that car, don't you, N-word?" And she said N-word with the ER at the end. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then she goes on this whole rant about how her black neighbors had told on her because she was doing things that she wasn't supposed to do and violating her lease. And now she's mad at every black person in the world. Like we've all done something to her. And mind you, at the time I was in the military, so I'm like, first of all, lady, you don't know who I am. Secondly, I'm in the military. Thirdly, I'm the reason why you get to enjoy your freedom every day. Because of my sacrifices. So what are you talking about? Right? So then we ignore her and we go ahead into the shop, and the guy's in there and he's like, "Oh yeah, let me show you the parts that I painted and take a look at it and make sure everything's good." So I'm talking to him. This lady follows us, and she's standing in the alleyway in front of the shop. And she's like, hey, you guys pay attention to me. She's like, "Oh, I'll stab you. I'll stab you right now, you N-word. I'll stab you right now." And the guy in the shop's like, "Who is this lady?" I'm like, "Look, I don't know who she is. Like, she just came out and she was going through the alley, and he just started going on. She's all mad and freaking making threats towards me and stuff like that. And me and Joe are looking at each other like, what is wrong with this lady? Like, so then the shop owner, he's like, "You get out of here right now." He's like, "You get out of here and get away from my shop or I'm going to call the cops." And she's like, yeah, well, you know what, whatever, F you. So she's like, she leaves. Or so we thought she left, right? So a few minutes go by, she comes back, right? And then she looks at us and she goes, "Hey." She's like, "Hey, I knocked my cart over." She's like, "I knocked my cart over. Can one of you guys come help me?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not." And then Joe looks at her and he's like, "No, why the hell would I help you? You're literally sitting here being racist, threatening to stab people. So why would I help you? Like, make that make sense." Like, it is just completely absurd. Like, and it's like, you wonder why black people, they have a tendency to be skeptical around white people, you know? But me being the person that I am, I was like, I don't judge everybody based off of one experience. I judge people off the person they are and their character, But that's just one crazy story. That lady was, I don't know where that lady at. I hope she gets the help that she needs, or the therapy she needs, or the resources that she needs to get to a better place in life, because that's not how you get places in life. And she never knows. I could have been the person to open the door for her for something. I could have been the person to give her some resources and help that she needed. But she burned that bridge. All right. Last and final card. What's one concept that you've never understood? One concept that I've never understood. This one might be a little difficult. Because this is pretty subjective as well. But a concept I've never understood. Okay, I think I got a take for this. I never understood the concept of racism. And people will be like, how do you not understand that? Like, black people, they were, enslaved and this, and that. But no, I say that in the sense of the modern day. I've never really understood racism in the modern day. Because it's like, at the end of the day, we're all the same people, just different shades of color. Right? So that doesn't make me any better than you. Because we all come out with the same opportunity. Unless you come from a wealthy family, but that's a different story. I'm speaking about generally we come from the same starting point. And just because your skin tone is lighter than mine does not mean that you are better than me. And just because my skin tone is darker than yours does not mean I am better than you. Now, I may excel in things from you because of I took the time to sit there and learn about these things, educate myself. But that does not essentially make me better than you. That just makes me more versed in something than you. Because, once again, I took the time to dive into that. But I don't understand how racism is so prevalent now when, that people are older now and they should be able to make their own judgment and not carry on the trauma that their parents are passing down to them, because racism is taught, and it starts at home with the parents. So as the parents, they're telling their children, hey, you gotta hate this race of people because I hate this race of people. But it's like, I wasn't raised that way. My mom said, if you're going to dislike somebody, you're going to dislike them because of the fact of who they are and what they stand for, not because of the color of their skin. And every single person in my friend group is of a different shade of color. I have white friends, I have black friends, I have Samoan friends, I have Hispanic friends. Now, do I have different interactions, like negative interactions with those races of people? Yeah. But does that affect my relationships with my friends of different races? No. Because that is just one person. One bad apple out of the group doesn't make the whole batch of apples bad. It's just that one person. So we have to hold that one person accountable. We can't just target everybody. Right? Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I don't understand that concept of racism. It just doesn't make sense. It's like, yes, your parents may have told you, hey, I don't like black people. You're not supposed to like black people. But as the child, you've grown older now to the point where you can make your own assumption that, hey, African American people are not as bad as we perceive them to be, or as bad as you perceive them to be. I've hung out with black people, and they're cool. And it's the same thing with me. I've hung out with a lot of white people, and they're cool. Like Nada, she is a white person, and she picked me up and dropped me off here. Like, she dropped me off for free. The lady at Walgreens is an older white lady, and she called her son in China to see if she can get me a job as a teacher in China. So it is not the race, it is the person and their character. So I do not understand the concept of racism. It just doesn't make sense. It's like you cannot hate a race because of one bad experience. I don't get it. And it's kind of silly and ridiculous that in 2025 we're still running around saying that we hate black people, we hate white people, we hate Asian people. Like, all this stuff, it doesn't make sense. It's like everybody has something to bring to the table. Everybody has some uniqueness to them. And I just don't get it. I don't. It doesn't make sense at all. Maybe y'all in the comments can explain to me the concept of racism in 2025 and why it's relevant still, because I don't get it. And then people will make the excuse of, I'm not trying to be political, but I'm just going off of what I've seen in comment sections on friggin' all these Trump posts. People try to use the excuse that, oh, Trump is the reason why all these white people are being racist again, and MAGA and this and that. And it's like, bruh, that's not an excuse, bro. It's like the same thing I said earlier. A few bad apples doesn't make the bunch of the apples bad. You have to single out those apples, right? And hold them accountable. But not apples, but people. You know what I mean? People. Those people specifically have to be singled out. Right? Gotta get it together, man. We gotta get it together, or we're never gonna evolve. We're never going to evolve if we continue to just keep hating each other. For nothing. Doesn't make sense. But anyways, that is the last 3 cards of Mindful, and we're going to move on to another series. I don't know which one we're going to do next, but stay tuned and we'll start hacking away at the next section. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. We're on the road to 500 subs. Oof, excuse me. We're on the road to 500 subs. And grateful for everybody. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.